before you can sit here with your funny hat, which is graduation, you need to pass through all 3 years of university. Now, to pass through the years, you need to pass through your exam boards. So there's an exam board for each of the years that you're in university. At the exam board, this is where academic staff get together and they will review your profile of marks. So throughout the year, you'll have sat through a number of modules. You need to have passed all those modules to make sure that you go through to the next academic year. If anything is missing, so if you haven't handed any work, that will be identified in the exam board, or if you failed. So if you haven't got over 40%, then that will also be identified. So the exam board is when we look to see if you have a complete profile of marks. So that's just making sure that you've passed everything. If you haven't passed everything, you've got an opportunity. Obviously, there's all university assessments on primary education studies, which I teach on. You have 3 opportunities to have a go at those assessments. So you need to pass through those. So if you've got anything that's missing, so you have any marks that are missing. So if, for example, you didn't submit an assessment, or if you failed something, you'll have an opportunity to resit that, and it's called a retrieval, or you might be called a resit. Usually it's identified in documentation as a retrieval, and they are sat in summer. So usually in the middle of August. So at the end of the exam boards are usually held in June. At the end of the exam board will get in touch with those that don't have a full, complete set of marks, and they will be invited back to resubmit their work in August. Usually on primary education studies, it'll be the same assessment, so it'll be the same question. Obviously, do not submit. So if you failed and you got under 40%, don't just re-upload that work. Obviously, there's been a reason why you failed. Look at the feedback, listen to the feedback commentary, think about, other comments you've had, look at the assessment criteria, engage with all of that. Hopefully you'll be able to improve on that. Unfortunately, these marks will be capped at 40%, but you need to pass. So you may have done a really, really good job, and you might have been issued a 2-1. Unfortunately, they will be capped. If you didn't submit, but you had an extension, for example, then these won't be capped. Again, all this information will be revealed at the end of the exam board. Exam boards are sat in June, retrievals are then sat in August. Once you have a complete set of marks, you can then prove